Alright guys, I'm going to go over I have one loss today and 3 winners, so I'm going to go over my loss first. Hold on. Netflix, my first loss, and then I had a winner on Netflix right after, but my first loss on the 1-minute chart was right here. It broke trend. I got in on that first candle. That's my mistake. I made it wash, and I wanted that entry. I wanted it to just kind of like break and then give me another solid spot because it was already under the EMA. So I was hoping that I could get, that this would be a good entry, but it wasn't. So I see my mistake now. It came back right back up, and then came back up again, and I got out above VWAP. And that was my first loss. That was about a $50 loss. And then it actually broke trend and broke VWAP too. I was watching it over because I wanted to see it break this trend. If you go back, it was making that wedge kind of thing, and I just wanted to see it break trend and come down VWAP and under the EMAs, and this was a good entry. It breaks trend, and it gave me a good enough candle for me to get in. Probably I could have waited till this candle, but no, I think this is a pretty good entry actually. Because it had already broken the trend, and even if I switch the trend line to this, like it's still breaking trend. That might be a little early, but I mean overall I won the trade. So right away it washed, and what I was watching to pay myself was if on the 5-minute chart, these areas of support. So as you can see, I didn't pay myself until it came down to around this area of support right here. I wanted to pay myself around this area right here on the bottom of this green candle, and I got it a little bit around there because on that big wash, I thought maybe it could have been the candle. Like I watched it end, and as soon as it went to the next one, this might have been a bad spot to pay myself, but I just wanted to get that money from the trade. I thought this was around where I was aiming for, so I paid myself a little over half, and then it washed more, and it came down to the next point I was looking for was around this wick. It actually passed that wick, and I paid myself some more. So, and then I stopped looking at this trade because I was in NVDA at this point, and I probably should have kept watching because, as you can see, it came down to this exact bottom of this wick, and I could have just went all out right here, but I wasn't even paying attention. So I ended up coming back to it later and looking. I was like, oh wow, okay, so it broke. Maybe it'll come back on this resistance or something, come back down. There's no point in me for just going all out if it's just gonna be like $5, and then just kept coming up. So I was like, okay, it's not gonna come back down. So I just ended up going all out, and this trade was overall that was a pretty good trade, decent. It was a winner, so a winner's a winner. And then NVDA, I had a mistake on this trade, but it wasn't terrible. It still meant well. So on the 5-minute chart, you'll see my first entry. This trend line was drawn, and it breaks trend, and I caught it on that wash. So that's just something I don't know. That's just, maybe I should have waited for it to come back up and test the trend. But overall, the trade won, and I know that's not the most politically correct entry, I guess. Let's see. So I got in, it washed some more, and it came back and tested that EMA and this new trend, and it came down, and I wanted to pay myself on the 5-minute chart where these two candles, this red candle and this green candle, where they kind of met right there, and I wanted to pay myself on the wicks. I thought that was a little bit of a chance, so I paid myself on the bottom of the candle, the actual candle, as you can see. So I paid myself there, came down, and then I paid myself on the wicks. and that was it. I was out of that trade, and my mistake was going all out on that because I was thinking that I was thinking that it might break and be kind of like a line in the sand trade, like that, breaking low, the low, and keep going. So that's why I got back in for a whole new trade. As soon as it broke, I was like, okay, yeah, my suspicions are correct. I need to get back in. So I got in right away, and it came back up. It tested a little bit, and it kind of rode back down. And now I was looking at previous lines. So I got in right here, and I was watching for this area right here, where this, right here. I mean, that's actually where I did pay myself out. This is where I wanted to pay myself first, and I ended up I did because it got down there. So I paid myself there, and was that it? Yep, that was it. I mean, it went down quite a ways further, and I didn't have. I mean, I could have made $40 more if I paid myself on this candle right. I wasn't watching that. I told myself I wasn't gonna go all out unless it came down to this line right here. But it never made it down there. It came down to around this area of support, and it tapped and came back up. And even though it did look like it could have gone farther down, it kind of just steadily came back up. And now it's just kind of moving sideways. But as soon as it broke this trend, I got out. As soon as it broke the trend, and it was already breaking this 9 EMA, I was gonna wait for it to break this 20 EMA, and it kind of did, but it got hammered down, and it was hammered down on the trend. But I just didn't. I mean, we were already so far down. I just thought, just take your money and run. I mean, you already missed your opportunity on this wash right here. Just take the money and go. So I took it, and I won, and now I'm at 204 realized today, and about 13 tickets on, I think, 4 trades? 1, 2, and then NFLX had 2 too, and that was 1 loss. So I had 1 loss and 3 winners. Yeah, Netflix. My first trade of the day was a loss, and a fair one at that, I guess. It was a little. It did seem like a fake out at first, but I see what it did. It kind of just bounced off. I mean, my original trend line was right here, and I mean, you could even make a trend line with this wick right here, or this VWAP bounce. It's kind of hard to make these trend lines. One thing I'm just realizing right now that I remember why I re-entered the trade was you can see this head and shoulders pattern on the minute chart. And I'll go over it a little bit. There's the shoulder, here's the head, bounce off VWAP, made another shoulder, and it was coming back up. And all I was waiting for was this trend break, and that's why I got in right here too, because I originally had the trend on this candle right here, so I got in. And it didn't wash or anything, came back up, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait again because I feel like this is gonna work. And it worked the second time around. So all in all, usually when I see a head and shoulders on the minute chart around where it's happening around VWAP, something like this, it usually always works. I think head and shoulders is a very common pattern that people trade against. So, and on this 5-minute chart, you can see this head and shoulders. That's clear. So, if anyone actually, I think a good entry would be around before this wash, but I don't know what that looks like. I'm not going to get into that because that's kind of hindsight. But yeah. So 4 trades today, 2 tickers, 1 loss, and 3 winners, and 204 realized. So overall, decent day. Didn't overtrade. So I'm learning.